Quick and easy tomato garlic pasta. Bake tomatoes, garlic, and salt, then add Parmesan cheese, basil leaves, and ricotta. Blend until smooth, then into your pan with pasta and pasta water.
Woo! Taking it to go.
This ramen hack is one of the best ones I've ever seen, and it tastes absolutely amazing. Start out with some butter in the pan, a bit of garlic, all-purpose flour, a bit of milk. Now season with some Dano's red pepper seasoning and the ramen sauce. Go in there with your ramen, some mozzarella cheese, let that melt, top it off with some scallions, and you're done. This is creamy poblano pasta, and it's one of my new favorites. Start out with some poblano peppers, some tomatillos, white onion, and some garlic. Drizzle some olive oil, and season with some salt and pepper. Now into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Everything goes into a blender with some cream cheese, chicken broth, and chicken bouillon. Sauce goes into a pan, pasta goes in. Top it off with some parsley, Parmesan cheese, and you're done.
This is fiery chipotle pasta, and it's whole food plant-based. I found this recipe on the Forks Meal Planner app, where you can find more recipes like this.
Little bit of oil, saute some red bell peppers, and some cherry tomatoes. Once softened, go in there with a can of some roasted tomatoes, season with salt, black pepper, and some cumin. Everything goes into a blender with some vegetable stock, some chickpeas, and some chipotle peppers. Sauce goes into a pan, pasta goes in, and some corn. Now just a little bit of parsley, vegan Parmesan,
And you're done.
Let me show you how to make some incredible butter chicken ramen. Honest to God, that is one of my favorite ramens of all time. Somehow it just makes sense. Yes, we need chicken thighs again that I'm going to turn into cute cubes, garlic ginger paste, a healthy spoonful of yogurt. Then we're going to give this a nice gulp of oil, a splash of lemon juice. And then instead of making our own masala, I got something special. This is not an ad, but I'm going to be using Fedwa's new butter chicken masala. I'm just supporting one of my homies, and I could smell this masala before even opening up the package. It looks amazing. And that masala is salt-free, so I'm going to add some. If you use code Ramadan, it'll be 15% off. Now, onto a sheet tray and into the oven at 425. And yes, you can also pan-sear this. Now in a pan with hot ghee, throw in an onion. As it sweats, squeeze in tomato paste. Give it more ginger and garlic. And then reintroduce that beautiful masala. When the air smells delectably aromatic, add in some cashews, 1 can of fire-roasted tomatoes, and then it's time for our heavy cream. All this needs is a quick blend, and then just drop in that beautifully cooked chicken. Now congrats, you just made butter chicken that's better than any takeout. To make this even better, I'm gonna cook down my ramen, strain most of the broth and add half the packet seasonings, and then just spoon over your butter chicken. Sauce it up. And as always, na bismillah. Now you gotta show that masala some love. It's amazing. Let me show you how to make some incredible short rib mac and cheese. Undoubtedly some of my best work. Incredible. To start, I'm gonna hit my short ribs with the sweet barbecue rub, and then into the oven or smoker at 250 until they're nice and tender. Now every time I make a mac and cheese, so many of you tell me it takes way too much time, and sometimes you just don't feel like grating that much cheese. I'm gonna show you my 30-minute version. In an oven-safe pan, start melting down some butter. Then I'm gonna give it the same seasonings that we did earlier. And this mac and cheese doesn't require roux, so we're gonna go in with some heavy cream. Then you wanna keep this on a lower heat and bring it up to a light bubble. And since I'm pairing this with my short rib, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of barbecue sauce. And now you're gonna kill the heat and drop in your pre-shredded cheese. I'm doing sharp cheddar and Kobe Jack, and you'll have the easiest 10-minute mac and cheese sauce. Today's pasta of choice is rotini. Just get that sauced and glossed. I pulled the ribs out at about 145 degrees. They've been slow cooking, so they're nice and soft. I'm gonna paint on some barbecue sauce, and I'm gonna crank the oven to 450 and throw them back in to get crusty. Chop up some of the short rib and just mix it in. A quick layer of cheese, and then we toss this in the oven until nice and melty. Are you proud of me? I went light on the cheese this time. Center down a little bit more short rib, and then parsley to make this entire operation healthy. And as always, now bismillah. Let me show you how to make my incredible spicy caramelized onion pasta. Oh my god. I've already said this, that's gonna be some of the best pasta you'll ever make. To start, we're gonna need onions and lots of them. You just wanna peel them, have them, and just make really thin slices. This pasta's so good it'll even make you cry for it. You have enough onions when you could fill an entire pan. Then we're just gonna drop in a knob of butter and a little bit of oil. Finish with a hefty pinch of salt and let these go low and slow. I repeat, you cannot lose patience with this recipe. Go make something else, you better show this one some love. After an hour, introduce some minced heartburn. Get generous with some Calabrian chili. Then I'm gonna add in a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes. And then just continue cooking this on a nice slow heat. Now when the onions are nice and golden like me, introduce lots of heavy cream. Once it lightly starts to bubble, hit it with some Italian snow. And then our al dente pasta goes in. For today, I'm using a bucatini noodle. I'm gonna add a little pasta water to pull everything together. Finish with a few more red pepper flakes. And then obviously something green to negate all those calories. And as always, now bismillah. Oh my god. I've already said this, that's gonna be some of the best pasta you'll ever make. The spicy version is a little bit better.